Alrighty, guys. Well, this is the NRL tips for the round 7 of the National Rugby League, and we're on the In the Sheds podcast. But this is the little side section where you guys come to the In the Sheds podcast YouTube channel, and you can see our tips for the upcoming round. And first up, guys. Actually, if you haven't listened to the podcast, this podcast wouldn't have come out until tomorrow for you guys. But right here, we've got Oliver from Rugby League, in my opinion. So he's going to be joining us for the podcast this week, and also we're going to be doing our tips with him right now. So first up, guys, the first game of the week is the Thursday game, and I actually think this could actually be the game of the round to start us off. We've got the Panthers versus the Rabbitohs. Hayden, you're up first.
Yeah, I do think this could be the game of the round. I think the Rabbitohs have been struggling a bit as of lately. They've gotten some wins, and I think it's a big test for them. Penrith obviously beat the Storm, and they showed me they're a dangerous side. I'm going to tip the Rabbitohs here. Bit of an upset.
You cheeky little I can see it coming too. I can see your face. I can see it coming, mate.
See it coming. I think the Rabbitohs are still a quality top 8 side. I think they've, obviously, as I mentioned, been struggling, but I think they've still got the team that could do some damage. And I think they might just beat Penrith in a close one. And, Rabbits by 6.
Yeah, be a good game, man. Ollie, you're up.
Got to go the Penrith Panthers here. Yes, the Rabbitohs look like they're back in form. Latrell looks like he's really settling into fullback, but we do have to keep in mind they've beaten the Titans and the Warriors. Penrith will be a good test for them to see if they are back up on that level. Based off of recent form, based off of the teams that both sides have beaten, I've got to proceed with caution, I'd say, and go with the Penrith Panthers, as I said.
Yeah, no, that's a fair enough call. Hayden stole my thunder here because I was originally going to go the Rabbitohs, so I should have gone first. But I now, because I like the Panthers this year, I've backed him in. Every single time they've won, I've backed him. Every single time when they've lost, I've also backed against him because I think maybe one time I got it wrong, actually. But so forgive me. I'm pretty sure I got it right every time. But anyway. I want to take the Rabbitohs here. I do. I said on the streams that I think the Rabbitohs are going to prove something here. Panthers is it at Campbelltown, so there's no even home ground advantage there. This is a tough one for me, boys. This is a real tough one for me. I think that both teams have the ability here, and I think the Rabbitohs are back in form, and I think the Panthers are on. You know what? I am going to take the Rabbitohs. You know what? I'm going to take the Rabbitohs here. I'm 2 ahead of you in the NRL tips anyway, Hayden. I'm 2 ahead of you. I don't know if you're this side or this side because I know I get this wrong all the time, but I'm 2 ahead of you, so I want to tip the Rabbitohs here, and I could easily go against you and go Panthers, but look, I'm gonna be safe here for me right now, and I'm gonna take the Rabbitohs. I think it'll be a great game. That's not the safe option. I don't know why I said that, but I guess safe option in regards to the NRL tipping. But I'm taking the Rabbitohs here. Next up, we're going to go to the Storm versus the Warriors, and Ollie, you're up first.
I've got to go with the Melbourne Storm to bounce back here. It'll be interesting to see how the Warriors respond to the sacking of Stephen Kearney, but their opposition is the Melbourne Storm, who, yes, they lost to the Penrith Panthers, but in saying that, the Storm usually don't respond well they do respond well after a loss, and I can see them doing so here against the Warriors.
Yeah, look, just before I give my tip, this game's actually going to be played at Cogra. So it was originally meant to be played at AME, but due to the fact that did you post something about this before? I'm not too sure. I might have seen it somewhere. But anyway, on your page. But I saw that it's in Cogra because of Victorians being the bloody. Yeah, I'm not even getting into you bloody Victorians. Just stay inside for bloody hell's sake. So we got Storm Warriors. Warriors are actually a bit of a bogey team for the Storm. But they've been a bit of a bogey team when they've had a bit of a better team. I think there's too much going on right now. I think next week, and this isn't a tip for next week already, Hayden, buddy, calm down. But I think next week, they play the Broncos next week, so they have a genuine chance. I may even tip the Warriors against the Broncos next week because usually teams do respond to a coach being sacked. I do like that aspect of this game, and that's why I did have a little thought the Warriors could sneak something here. But I think the Storm have got too much criticism right now. I think Craig Bellamy, he's given them more than a left, right, and a good night. He's given a left, right. He's gone and buddy slapped them up. He said, if you don't go out there and get a win this week, I'm gonna put your head through a wall right now because I'm getting sick of it. So I'm taking the Storm here, and I'm going to take the Storm by 14. I think it's going to be a decent enough margin. And I'm sorry, Warriors fans, but I'll tip you next week because I just can't see it against this Storm team who are going to be facing a lot of criticism, just like a lot of other teams recently who have faced a lot of criticism and then came out and then gotten the win. So there you go. All right, Hayden, you're up.
Yeah, I'm going to tip the Storm by 16 points. I think there's pressure on both teams here. Obviously, the sacking of Stephen Kearney in regards to the Warrior and the Storm being away from Amy Park. This was meant to be a bit of a home game for them, and they love that field and the aura they have when playing there, but I think they'll be too good. And as Ollie said, they don't often lose 2 in a row.
Exactly right. All right, well, let's move to the next game. And this one is a pretty easy one for me. But Hayden, for some reason, told me last night that he thought it was going to be a close one. Roosters Dragons, mate. I'm taking the Roosters, and I'm taking them by 2 cricket scores. I'm taking them by a 1-day international, buddy, score, mate. I'm taking them by, buddy, a 5-day test score here of Australia versus, buddy, Sri Lanka. I'm saying Sydney Roosters here are going to win by, buddy, 34 points at this rate, 40 points, 50 points. You know, I don't know where you're getting something that the Dragons have a good team here. They've just come off against the Titans, and that win against the Titans, cool, man. You guys were so shit. The only reason you won is because the Titans were shitter. I'm sorry. It was not a game of who won that game. It was a game of who didn't lose that game. And the Titans, they definitely made sure to lose that game. So I'm taking the Roosters. I'm taking it by a cricket score. Hayden, you're up. Tip the Dragons, please. Do it for me. Do it for me, please. Tip the Dragons.
No, I'm not tipping the Dragons. I think the loss of James Graham is so big for them. But yes, Blaze, I do think this will be a bit closer than you think. I'm tipping the Roosters by 12. I think that the Roosters will definitely win, and I do think they'll score some points. But I think the Dragons will put in a bit of a fight, but Roosters by 12.
Gee whiz. Ollie, you're up, mate.
Roosters by 20 plus minimum. With all due respect,
he's trying to be careful here, Hayden. He's trying to be careful.
Look, yes, the Dragons have won their past 2, but guess what? They've beaten the Sharks and the Titans. Blaze, you put it perfectly with that win against the Titans. But yeah, I've got to go the Chookies here, and I know it wasn't the score. The score line doesn't reflect a close game against Parramatta. I believe it was 24-10. However, before that game, 129-18 against their opposition. The Dragons, a team who, for the first 4 or so weeks, were not high scoring. What I think 18 might have been the highest they got in the game. They might have gotten to the 20s against Penrith. It was a while ago.
32-28, yeah.
32. Okay, I'll give them that game, but there have been games like against the Bulldogs where I believe they lost 22-0.
Next game, we've got the Cowboys versus the Knights, and you're up first here, Hayden.
I don't know why I'm doing this.
Oh, no, you're not. You're not.
Yeah, I am. I think the Newcastle Knights have been in really good form, and I rate them, and I think they'll definitely be in the top 8. I think the Cowboys are desperate here. I think the Cowboys win. I think the Cowboys win. Yeah. Well, I want to see the team line up before I make my tip in this physically. But now that I've said this on In the Sheds, I'm Cowboy. On Entertain House, different story. I might be all over the Knights if the lineup's different. But I'm going to go with the Cowboys by 2. I think it'll be fairly low scoring. I think there'll be good defence from both teams. But I think the Cowboys are so desperate. So I'll back them for a little win here.
Ollie, you're up.
I'll give you this, Hayden. I can see where you're coming from. Let's just say the Cowboys eked one out against Newcastle. I wouldn't be shocked, but I've got to go with Newcastle here. I think they can remain in form. Look, Jason Taumalolo, he'll run for 200 metres. He'll have a great individual performance, and it'll end something like 26-12. I'm predicting Newcastle to not necessarily absolutely decimate the Cowboys, but I am tipping a firm victory, I guess you could say.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'll tip the Knights here. That's all right, Hayden. I'll get that extra little tip there for the tipping ladder there, and I'll go up by an extra one. But I think it'll be a decent enough game. That's what I thought with the Cowboys versus the Tigers, mate. I tipped the Cowboys over the Tigers, and I wish I didn't tip the Cowboys over the Tigers. So
there was such a big fight from the Cowboys against the Tigers in that second half that I think that's what I'm relying on. But again, they're desperate, and they played really well in that second half, scoring points. They're a very physical team, and if they get some of their players back, then I think it'll be a good game.
Yeah, if it was against anyone but the shit-ass Tigers, I would agree with you. But Broncos Titans, boys, we got Ollie up first.
Look, as a mad Titans supporter, I have to go Brisbane here and proceed with caution, I guess you could say.
It is very caution, yeah.
We will see glimpses from the Titans as we have, but if there is any team that can play Brisbane back into form, or at least hand Brisbane their first win since March, who are you pointing to? It's got to be the Titans. Wouldn't be surprised if we won. I can understand where people are coming from. However, I think Brisbane get the win here.
Yeah, look, I'm tipping Brisbane here. I'm tipping Brisbane straight up. I'm a Titans fan. We've won the last 2 years at Suncorp, FYI. We've beaten them the last 2 years at Suncorp Stadium in front of a packed out crowd. There will be 10,000 people in attendance. They're all going to be Broncos. I'm pretty sure I think Chris was saying something like, Chris, the management of ticketing and stuff for the Titans was saying we might get a very small allocation, but pretty much nothing if that. Look, I'm going to take the Broncos. If the Titans win, I'm very happy. Cool. I know Hayden's taking the Broncos anyway, so it's kind of okay for me. But I'm taking the Broncos. I think that, yeah, you're right. If anyone's going to play anyone back into form, it's going to be the Titans. And but the thing is that, you know what, I think it'll be a relatively close game. I honestly do think this game could go either way, but I'm going to go with a safe option here. I'm going to take the Broncos because I think that they're under so much criticism, just like the Dragons were when they bounced back against the Sharks, and you know, even the Sharks had a massive amount of criticism going into the game against the Dogs, even the Rabbitohs as well. So every team that faces a lot of criticism this year, they get a bounce back win. So I'm taking the Broncos here, unfortunately, and I hope I'm wrong. Yeah, let's go for the wrong tip there.
You got a margin?
I'll go Broncos by 4.
Broncos by 4. Okay, that close. All right, I'll go Broncos by 12. I don't think they'll win this game 13+, but I think we'll see glimpses of both sides being good.
Enough.
It's close, but I don't think it'll be a smashing. So I think Brisbane 2 converted try, and I think we could see some changes to the lineup. Hopefully, hopefully Tommy Dearden gets a run.
No, hopefully Milford gets a run. Eels versus Raiders, and this is actually a really strange game to predict. I think I'm up here. I think I'm meant to predict here first. I'm not actually looking forward to this game too much. I don't know why. I'm actually just genuinely not. You know what? Because otherwise we're going to tip all the same teams this week pretty much, Hayden. I'm going to go with the Raiders because I know you're going to probably tip the Eels here. If you don't, then cool. We've got the same tip again. But I'm going to tip the Raiders here because I think they need to bounce back. I think that the Eels here probably will definitely be the favourites. I think that the Raiders have struggled since they performed against the Storm. And I would love to see them come out and prove us all wrong. So quick little tip there. I'm going to go Raiders. I'm going to say by 6. I think it'll be a very close game. But I think the Eels might have their 3rd loss of the season. Hayden, you're up.
Yeah, it was a tough game for me. I think either team will win by 8 or less. And I'm going to go with the Eels. I haven't tipped Parramatta in 2 weeks now anyway. And this was a game that I actually had as probably being, in my opinion, when I was looking at the ladder, our first loss of the season, I guess. This was the one that I was more worried about. I think the Raiders are a real quality side. They have been slipping up a bit lately. If they play the way they did last week, the Raiders, and Parramatta play like they did against the Roosters, I wouldn't be surprised if Parramatta win 13+. But that's not what I see happening. And I see the Eels winning this by 8 points. I think it'll be a really good game. And I think I'll go with Parramatta 24-16.
All right, so Parramatta will be 5-2 by the end of the round. All right, Ollie, you're up.
I got to go with Parramatta as well. The exact same as Hayden. I think this is the first one where I've agreed with you and disagreed with Blaze. But yeah, I do have to go the Eels. But I do agree with you in one thing that I'm not overly excited for this one. I think it's because I counted there's 2 or 3 maybe local derbies, I guess you could say. And we're also getting the Roosters versus Dragons and the Storm versus Warriors, which are traditionally the Anzac Day games.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
You see those games, you're like, oh, those are the Anzac Day rivalry fixtures, I guess you could say. So there's actually a fair bit going on this week. You put this in most other rounds, it's the game you're looking forward to the most, right? But I feel like there's a little bit going on in the other games, which sort of hampers this one a bit.
Finally, we've got the Sunday games, Manly versus Sharks. Hayden, you go first. If anyone's tipping, okay, go on. Just Hayden, you go.
I'll go Manly by 18. I think they'll win this quite big, potentially by more. But they have a few injuries, and if there was any time for the Sharks to beat Manly, it would be now.
Man,
but it won't happen.
Any time for the Sharks to beat Manly. I can't remember saying it. Ollie, you're up.
If there was any time for the Sharks to beat Manly, probably is now, but I don't think it'll happen. Tipping the Seagulls, Battle of the Beaches. I'm looking forward to it. There's always that little bit of history with it, you know, back in the 70s, those couple of grand finals. So I said Battle of the Beaches, couple of nice beaches, but it's not going to be a nice game for Cronulla, I don't think. Manly, relatively easily.
Yeah, Cronulla's got a better beach though, lads. But in the same sense, Cronulla's like a second team to me. I'm taking Manly. I see this the game every single year. Manly win every single year. This is the bogey team. This is the time for the Sharks to win. Blah 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 blah. Every year's the bloody time the Sharks can win. Blah blah blah. They never win. They never beat Manly. They never beat Manly. So look, I would love to see it. Please, like I said, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, please. But I'm taking Manly, and I'm taking them by 20. I'm taking them by 20. Yeah. Well, I hope I'm wrong, but. You tell me I'm wrong. Bulldogs, Tigers, finish this up. Ollie, you're up.
I am going with the West Tigers here based off of recent form again, and I believe the Tigers do have the better side.
I'm going the Dogs. I'm going Dogs, mate. I'm going Dogs. I think they showed enough in that second half, and I think that they were a still decent team, and I don't rate the Tigers this year. If you want me to say it again louder for the people at the back, anyone there right now who doesn't know that I don't rate the Tigers this year, if you don't know, if you already know, please move to the back so the people at the back can come and listen to me. As I say, I don't rate the Tigers this year. I don't rate them. We saw that in the second half. Everyone's like, oh, cool. Wow, the Tigers, they're up by 30-0 after all. And then the Cowboys, who I also don't rate this year, they come back to they were even there was even a potential at one point where people were like, well, could they come back in this game? And that's just madness. So I'm taking the Dogs. And I think it'll be a shit game. Tigers probably should win. Tigers will be favourites, but I'm taking the Dogs. And I'm going to take them by 4 points. Hayden, you're up. Finish us off.
I'm taking the West Tigers by 10 points. I think I had them like you as that shit team. And they're proving me wrong. I'm going to say it right now. I don't see the Tigers finishing below 10th. 10th or above for mine is the Tigers finish. I had them in 14th. I had them in 16th. I really rate them at the moment, and I think their forward pack is doing a fantastic job. They're all it sounds rough. Oh, you're so dog. they're all kind of no-name kind of players, but they're also really good players. You've got Zane Musgrove, you've got Josh Aloiai, and Harry Grant at hooker is absolutely fantastic. The Bulldogs have a really, really, really good record against the Tigers. Like, it's crazy how good their record is, but I think the Tigers will be too good, and I see the Tigers getting on a bit of a roll.
Yeah, well, I think you need to get on a roll and make another roll. And look, I'm not gonna keep look. I've just started to enjoy slaughtering the Tigers at this point. Like, I don't think they're as bad as I keep making them out to be. I think they're probably, I probably put them around maybe 9th this year. Yeah. I reckon 9th is a pretty good spot. And just a little bit of a rub in there. Just Hayden, can you quickly go and check the AFL ladder for me and tell me who's in 9th?
The AFL ladder?
Tell me, go to the AFL ladder right now and tell me who's in 9th.
Don't tell me Richmond are there. Are they? The Tigers? I didn't even have to look.
The Tigers, they're always there, mate. They are always there.